All right, welcome to Buddy Book Club. I'm Dylan, here with the hardcore bitch I've always dreamed of, Keith. What's up, buddy?
And I'm here with D-Man. He doesn't look like much, but he's hung like a horse.
I wish. Maybe like a mini horse.
Pony?
One of the real miniature ones.
Like from Parks and Rec?
What's his name? Shit. Sebastian. We're breaking down some box office bangers, and this week we'll be discussing 2001's romantic comedy, Saving Silverman.
Kind of.
Or if you'd like to recommend a book or movie for us to read or watch, you can visit our website, buddybookclub.com, or slide into our DMs on Twitter or Instagram, Buddy Book Club Podcast. You can listen to us on iTunes and Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, so please download and subscribe. Keith, I don't even know how we wound up watching Saving Silverman.
Well, we watched an adult movie, and we were like, this has too much real-life issues. Let's go to something more silly. And that's, I think, what ended up
and then we swung the complete other direction. Maybe one of the dumbest movies ever. And don't get me wrong, I do like this movie. Let's just jump right into it, Keith. What do you have for stock up for Saving Silverman?
Stock up Neil Diamond. I mean,
this
movie really makes him seem like a god. If you had to save your life, could you name one song other than Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond?
I was actually driving this morning or yesterday morning. I don't know. All the days are starting to blend together. And was thinking about that because I was like, do I know any Neil Diamond song? Like, I know the Hello song, but if it played, I don't know if I would say that's Neil Diamond.
I don't even know that song.
They did it a few times in the movie.
Oh, in the movie?
Yeah,
but it's not like one that I recognized, like CCR.
Creedence Clearwater Revival, yep.
There's probably like 20 songs of theirs that you've heard that you're like, oh, I didn't know that was by them. Or like, oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I went to Neil Diamond's Spotify. Sweet Caroline has 600 million views. The next closest is 88 million. Never heard the song ever in my life. The next closest is like 85 million. Never heard it. Yeah. I just kept going on the line being like, oh, so none of these songs are like radio songs or anything, or like classic.
And as someone from Boston, since we're both from Boston, you have to know Sweet Caroline because it plays at every Red Sox game. But I hate that song. I really do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think...
Wow. I like it.
I like the idea. I think I would like the song itself, but the problem I have is that they play it whatever in the seventh inning at every Red Sox game. And when you go to a Red Sox game, I'm not there to listen to Sweet Caroline. Like, I'm going there to enjoy the time, hopefully see the Red Sox win. It seems like everyone else is there to sing along to Sweet Caroline. And I've been to games where the Sox are down like 8-1, and then Sweet Caroline comes on and everyone's like, yeah, oh my God, this is amazing. And I just hate that. It's like that takes away from...
You guy that like hates the pitch clock? You're like, oh, old baseball was so much better than this.
No, I'm totally down for that. I think baseball itself is too boring. I like to show up in the second or third inning, stay till they cut off the beer, and then leave. But...
That's when Sweet Caroline comes on. That's why it's great. It's like the peak. You've had literally just the right amount of alcohol.
I guess I think that they should only play it if the Red Sox are currently winning. Tied or winning.
Usually when I've gone to the Red Sox game, we'll be down like 2 or 3, and Sweet Caroline comes on, and it's like, oh, if I sing with my heart out to this song, we're going to come back.
Oh.
Whereas you, I guess, are just... I guess you didn't... Did you never follow the Red Sox, the 04 Red Sox? Do you not remember them?
I do remember them. I do.
I mean, everyone chipped into that. Any sort of superstitions you had or anything like that, that led to that comeback. So everything now adds up to that. So you have to do anything that you think might help the Red Sox win.
So you're saying because my girlfriend at the time offered us to have tickets to sit at Game 4 when the Red Sox were down 3-0, and they were $100. And at the time I was in high school, it's like $100 is a lot of money. I'm not going to watch the Sox get swept.
Yikes.
That I positively contributed to the Sox winning, because this is going to change it's like one of my biggest regrets in my life. So
why do you think they're down 8-1 every time you go? Like, that's the problem right there. So you shouldn't be going to games.
Yeah. Just can't go to Red Sox games anymore. Or at least I can only go to like the ones where they play like the National League and they don't matter.
What are you talking about? Those don't matter? What?
Yeah, but they don't matter as much in terms of like playoff seeding and whatnot.
I guess.
There's 162 games. I mean, they don't all matter the same.
No game matters if that's the... I mean, that's the mindset. I don't know what you're talking about. That'd be like saying, oh, any game outside the division for the Patriots doesn't matter. Like, what?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it matters less.
Jesus Christ.
It matters less. Like when they lost to the Raiders.
I don't know if I can trust you anymore. You're like, I don't like Sweet Caroline. I don't like going to Red Sox games in the playoffs. Must be nice to have a girlfriend in high school too. Wow. Who are you? Look at this guy. We got Fonz on the podcast today.
Well, speaking of girlfriends in high school or girlfriends in general, my first stock up are friends that tell you like it is. So I think I had told you that because of this movie, my friends in high school called my girlfriend at the time Judith. And she had no
That's about as bad as it gets.
yeah, she had no idea why, and they just called her
That's
Judith.
more of an insult to you, by the way.
I took it that way. Granted,
She's also a big listener of the podcast right now,
Bad.
so she'd be upset.
no, she's definitely. I don't remember it being that bad, but like maybe it was because sometimes you put on those rose-colored glasses and you just don't even know what's happening in your own relationship. But yeah, so I guess maybe I was under her control, although she like didn't hold out on me with the the intimacy.
Jesus
and
Christ.
didn't force me to go to any counseling.
She offered to bring you to a Red Sox game. Is this the same
No,
one?
different one.
Oh, okay. All right, fair
Yeah,
enough.
no, different one.
Guy had 2 girlfriends in high school. Must be nice.
Guys like to just like do guy stuff, and especially when you're young, like these guys are in their 20s and Saving Silverman. Mm-hmm. You just kind of want to hang out with the guys. That's what you want to do. And the second that someone gets a girlfriend and they start taking time away, whether it's this crazy situation or just like a very normal situation where you're not going to shoot darts on Wednesday nights anymore because like you're going to go hang out with your girlfriend and have dinner and do other enjoyable things. The friends start to get pissed. That's just the way it is. So unfortunately, though, sometimes it does get bad, and that's where you want to have friends that tell you like it is. I did have a friend who was dating someone who was absolutely psychotic, and he said he was going to propose to her. And I had 3 friends that decided to sit him down for an intervention and was basically like,
Wow.
hey, you might not realize this, but she's terrible. She's absolutely the worst person in the world. She makes you like commandeers your life. You have to do everything around her. You have to check everything by her. Like she's dangerous. This girl's dangerous. And fast forward 10 years, he found someone else and they fell in love and everything's good. No, I'm just kidding. He married the original one. They have 3 kids and they're very happy.
We're airing out a lot of laundry on this podcast. Were you not friends with the kid?
No, he's still a good friend and his wife's fine. She's fine. Whatever.
Is he still friends with those 3 guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Intervened?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, that's interesting. All right.
I mean, someone like that obviously is pretty meek, so it's not like he was going to defriend these people if he wasn't going to like break up with this terrible person.
Yeah, okay.
But they got 3 beautiful kids, and they wouldn't be here if he didn't stick with her. So, what else you got?
Noted. All right. Funny graphs stock up. This might be the first movie that I can remember them pulling out a graph in the middle of a movie. I feel like that's like probably a faux pas in filming. Show, don't tell. You pulling a graph out to show is pretty much the
What was the
exact opposite
graph?
of that.
Oh, the graph, the masturbating graph.
Yeah, it was a graph of it was F, B, G, and W, O, and it was just a funny scene. There was like, let's look at the fun that we've had. And they were just like graphing it actually numerically. The band members or numbers, and then girls, and then obviously because girls WO whacking off has gone up significantly, and it was going off the graph. It didn't chart it.
I like how the girls was like started at like 1 and it just went to 0.
Yeah, that's stupid stuff like that, but a lot of people have stolen from that and used that now. I think it's hilarious.
So more graphs in movies that aren't
Yeah,
like
exactly.
financially related, that are more
Right,
comedic.
just funny. Yeah, I like them.
They should have used a graph like this in The Big Short. It would have been easier to explain.
I like the Big Short where they cut away and they have like Margot Robbie in a hot tub explaining things.
Yeah,
I don't remember
Selena
what you
Gomez
said,
at the craps
Oh, the
table or
craps table?
blackjack table,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
That's a clever way to do it.
Super clever. I mean, Adam McKay makes great movies. My next stock up, Jack Black. I don't know why. I've just always loved me some Jack Black. I was always like a Jim Carrey guy. I mean, I like Austin Powers.
Physical comedy.
Yeah, so I like the physical comedy aspect, and Jack Black just does it with like facial expressions. Like he does a lot more on top of that, but just his like quizzical looks or whatnot, they make me laugh every single time. It just hits me right. And associated with that, Tenacious D. Not only do I like Jack Black as an actor, but phenomenal musician. I love the self-titled Tenacious D album, but I'm not sure how he does it. He always works Kyle Gass, the other member of Tenacious D, into all of his movies.
Who did he play?
The creepy guy that tries to approach her at the bar.
Oh, the magic guy?
Yeah, the magic guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him. That's funny.
So he's in like a bunch of the Jack Black
He's
movies.
a pretty good actor.
Yeah, he is. He is good. And I think it's really just so he can like keep his SAG card, and like Jack Black's like, yeah, if we're gonna make music on the side, like I'll just get you in a couple movies a year and just to keep your SAG card. He did have Elf though. He was standalone in Elf without Jack Black being in that. He plays one of the artists for the kids books or whatever. So yeah, Kyle Gass, Jack Black, get them together. I'm in for it. Win for me every time.
I completely agree. I had give me more Jack Black as like what I wanted more out of this movie. Give me more of him. I also wanted him to sing.
Yeah.
I think he's an unbelievable singer. I'm like, there's all this music parts and he's not singing and he can actually play guitar too. Like, show him. Actually let him do it real.
I'm pretty sure him and Steve Zahn were singing in the scene when Jason Biggs leaves the band. Like when they're out there like all dressed up or whatnot. Because it seemed like they were both doing the same guitar, and I'm almost certain Jack Black was singing. I just needed more. There was a ton of Steve Zahn, and don't get me wrong, I like me some Steve Zahn, but I just need more JB as JD.
Agreed.
And Arlie Ermy. I need more Arlie Ermy, R.I.P.
I don't know what that is.
Coach in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Great. Yeah.
So good. Did you have any other stock ups?
Therapist stock up?
Oh, really?
I didn't realize they get $200 an hour. Amanda Peet she's smart, competent, manipulative, all the things I like, so.
You knew that hardcore bitch in your life?
Yeah. I think she was supposed to be a lawyer, but there wasn't enough lawyer jokes, so they just were like, you're a therapist now. Because like everything she does is lawyerly, and she's introducing them to like these buttoned up like accountants and lawyers. I think of therapists, I think of like people that want to help people. And I don't think they run in the same circles as like lawyers.
Yeah.
Lawyers are scum of the earth. Like, just kidding. I have like 10 friends that are lawyers, but still, hey, my brother and sister.
Your sister's a lawyer now?
Yeah, that's right.
Law degree and a mother?
Yeah.
Step it up, Keith. When are you going to become a mother?
I'm the only one that doesn't have an advanced degree in my family. I keep on telling them I have an advanced degree in entrepreneurship, and they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, exactly.
Be like, yeah, you haven't taken the classes. You don't understand yet. Family reunions, holidays must be fun. Your parents just looking at you, shaking their head. Tell me more about your podcast, Keith.
Yeah, well, they don't know about it, so that's
smart,
fine.
Smart. Oh, yeah, well, you'll become a mother soon. I believe in that.
Thank you.
What about Stock Down? Did you have anything for Stock Down?
Only one was reading at the bar, Stock Down. I feel like there's really no situation that it doesn't come off pretentious to be at a bar reading. I guess just maybe because most bars have TVs, and most bars you go to socialize. If you wanted to drink in your room or like read and drink, you could just do that out on your deck or at the beach or wherever. But if you go to the bar, I feel like you're kind of sending the signals I want to socialize or I want to talk to someone else and drink. So reading a book is kind of like, I feel like you're looking for attention. It looks pretentious to me.
It was Judith that was reading the book, right?
Yes.
She was reading the book at the bar. I think there is a right bar to do that at. One that's got quiet corners kind of thing, some decent backlight going on. Because really the lighting factor would be it for me. If I read an actual book now, I need to have a little book lamp clip thing. Like there's no way I can even
in your carrots. Is that what I'm hearing?
Carrots?
Yeah, to help your eyesight during the night, even though that was a lie perpetrated by the U.S.
By Big Carrot?
Perpetrated? No, it was during World War II. Where they were like, oh yeah, we can see all these movements because we have good eyesight from at night. Because we have a ton of carrots.
When really they had just hacked Enigma and they knew.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know the origin story of that, I guess, and I like that.
I could be making that up, but
who cares?
I like that. Yeah.
Keith, everything is made up. Everything is made up. That's
a good point.
Just with that. It's like whenever I use a fake word that I like to make up, Caroline says, that's a made up word. And I said, Caroline, all words are made up.
That's a great point. She may or may to be right, but you're also right.
I know. She gets so mad at me because it's like, yeah, straight up. She doesn't actually get, if she listens to this, she doesn't actually get that mad at me. This is a problem when she actually might listen to this, is that she'll be like, you exaggerated. And I'm like, that's what you do. It's called entertainment, all right? I can't just say, she gets a little sometimes like, well, that's kind of bothersome.
What the listeners don't know is Caroline's not real. She's a made up person in your imagination. You keep on telling these stories, but she's not even there.
The world is made up, Keith. You just keep going. The universe, made up. Doesn't exist.
That's a good point. Yeah. You're not wrong.
I really didn't have any stock downs except for maybe 60% of the movie. I just think 60% of it was questionable. And I'm okay
You
with
know, we're
that.
stocked down is that we were buying and selling things with inside the movie, not
I know. I
the
know what
hate
it is.
section is for that with the 60% you're mentioning.
I
That's
know.
what the hate love
I
section is
know.
for. I didn't feel like we're like, was it episode 61? And I feel like you don't understand stock up, stock down still. We've done it 61 times now.
Just you wait. Wait till I get to episode 69
Okay.
and I'll figure out stock up, stock down.
Have you seen the clips, by the way, of there's some comedian that listens to Crusades of Grey audiobook, just playing it out loud in his car with people next to
Yeah,
him?
yeah. I think I
Yeah.
saw one
That's
clip
gonna be us.
on Reddit. He was like at a gas station, like filling up his gas, and it was going, and people are like looking over his shoulder. That was what made me want to
That's gonna be
read
us.
the
Yeah.
book because I was like, that is absurd. And the one page I read over some woman's shoulder on a subway that I was like, this is not a book. Like this,
Fully hard.
this is not literature. Yeah. I was pressing like the tape from across the train, like the exit tape with that baby's little Sebastian penis. Cool. Then I'll get into love hate, which is where you want me to say these things. Love hate. I loved, Keith, what I love in general is absurd comedies. And there is a place for just straight up absurd comedies, and the place is in my heart because this is as dumb and as absurd as it gets. And I found all of those bits to be funny. Sandy's family, they have to move away. Her and Darren are in high school, they're lovebirds, whatever the case is, but her family has to move away. Why do they have to move away? Oh, they're carnies and they're joining the circus and the circus is leaving town. What? Her brother's the dog-faced
Small
kid.
hands.
Her mom's the bearded woman. It's perfect because it's like they could have had 10,000 other reasons her family had to move away. Her dad's in the military, any sort of new job, relocation, go live with grandparents, whatever the case is. Nope, family's in the circus and they have to move away to join the circus. It's great. I love it. So there's a lot of that level of absurdity in this, and most people would say it's shallow and pedantic, and I would agree to disagree with you. I found it to be uproarious. What did you love?
When you're watching like a movie by yourself or comedy specifically, do you ever really laugh out loud?
No. That's kind of how I judge comedies, how much LOLs I'm getting.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to also a lot of comedy podcasts and stuff. I don't really like. I'm always like, oh, that was good. That was funny. I'm
Yeah.
like smiling to myself. But I actually was watching by myself the ending where Wayne runs in and he's like, you want me at the wedding, and she runs up, throws a bouquet, and then proceeds to pick up a chair and hit him over the head with it. I died laughing. That was one of the funniest things I've seen. For the music, everything was perfect for that because you thought they were gonna like kiss, and you said just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I think I had 3 LOL moments.
If you get 3, that's a good comedy.
Yeah,
There.
and most of it is because it's like coming like that absurd factor where it's coming out of left field, where it totally surprises you. It's like, wait, what? Like, where did that come from? And I really enjoy that stuff. So yeah, I got 3. So, and speaking of which, I loved that this movie and all good comedies should be quotable, and I think this movie is just quotable. There's a few ones that are good. I don't know if this is necessarily a quote, but when JD says like it's one nacho, when he's talking about the nachos thing, I don't know if he started a trend with that or not, but anytime someone picks up like the 4 chips that are tied together with cheese and the nacho, they're like, oh, it's one nacho. And I don't know if that was originally from Saving Silverman, or maybe it's just one of those things where it just happened, like it just spontaneously happened. But yeah, JD does that. I love a beer bong for the lady. Big fan of that. I used to when beer bongs were a thing, like in college or whatever the case was, that was the only way I would give that to somebody else. You know what I mean? Be like in college, be like hand someone a beer bong, be like beer bong for the lady. So I enjoyed that. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, is you've been pinching loads on the lawn, man. I play croquet out there.
That was good.
I tell that to my dog whenever I have the opportunity. Dog shits on the lawn. I go, you've been pitching loads on the lawn. I play croquet out there. Or sometimes I just cut it to, I play croquet out there. I thought that scene was top notch for me. It tied all the things that I enjoyed together. Poop jokes, Jack Black, Arlie Ermey's butt. I loved it.
I like it.
What else did you love?
High School Buddies. I like anything where you have like the past. I mean, I think most comedies have some sort of.
So that's not a stock up? Wait, that sounds like more like a stock up to me, but yeah, whatever.
These were the old comedies used to be. It used to just be buddies that were hanging out, that were stupid, coming of age type stuff, even when they're like 30. Like, oh, they just need to grow up type stuff. I just like that stuff. I think that's like classic guy comedy, and that's what this had. I liked it.
Yeah, it's a classic trope that I do enjoy. And it's so true, because I was talking about this last night, actually, with the wife. We were talking about my brother's currently, like, potentially moving schools, whatever the case is, he's in college. And I was talking about, like, what living situations are like when you're in your early 20s. And guys are just, I mean, I'm sure there are women are too, some of them, but guys are just disgusting. They don't clean up after themselves. No one does housework, basically. You're like all stuffed into a small apartment or house, whatever the case is. No one's like cleaning toilets and mopping and vacuuming, like wiping down surfaces. Like that shit just doesn't happen. So guys in their 20s are like absolutely disgusting. They usually have people over a lot. There's just shit everywhere. It's gross.
Wait, so what's the negative here? I miss it. What's going on?
No, I was
What's
just
that have to do with
I
anything?
was just saying you're saying how
You're like,
guys don't grow.
Boys drool, and they're the worst.
You're saying how they
What?
don't grow up, like the comedies.
That's what I'm. Yeah, most comedies are based.
And
on
I said
that.
it's
Yeah.
true. Like
So you basically were agreed with Amanda Peet, is what you're saying.
I do a lot of the time. I mean, the way that she was introduced to his friends, I would be
I think
upset.
she has some points there. Yeah, if you honestly made this from Amanda Peet's side of things, it'd be a horror film. I met this nice guy. I made him more adult, became a better person, and then they kidnapped me.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes into the house and it's there. She's just trying to, oh, she didn't even know they're going to sit down and watch a football game. I don't think. But there's not really a spot for her. You know, it's just kind of like two chairs. They start smashing beers, pouring beers all over her. Like,
She's got to lighten up. It's Sunday, football Sunday. Just relax. You got to. I think it's important to be able to blend in in a scene. Like, if you go to the scene and it's not your scene, just give it a try. Let loose one time, you know?
Okay. Yeah. You meld yourself to the situation.
If I go to a fancy wine party, I'm not like, oh, I hate this. This is not me. I have to do exactly what I usually do. It's like, no, I'll drink some wine, eat some cheese, and pretend to be part of the scene for a little bit, you know?
You're like,
the exact opposite.
Do you have any beer flavored wine, sir?
But yeah, I think blending in and just giving things a try. So when she goes over there, grab a Bud Light, sit down in the chair, and try to blend in one time. Worst case scenario, you say that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But come on.
Okay.
I don't care for it.
Okay. I appreciate that. I'm hoping when I see you this weekend, you'll be blended in, because we're gonna do some weird things. So.
Oh God, yeah.
You better blend in. What'd you hate?
Biggest thing for all the comedies I already mentioned, High School Buddies, like, and the biggest thing is they need to grow up. You know, that's always the flaw.
Yeah.
But you like the characters before they do that. The Silverman dude sucked. He's the worst. Why did I like him? You know, he's like the worst person. He leaves the band, which is a hobby. You know, it's not like they're forcing him to go on the road and travel. It's just a hobby that they have. It's not affecting his lifestyle anyway. And
They're like busking at a pier. It's not like a big deal.
he doesn't invite them to the engagement party. Just basically cuts them out of his life. It's like, oh, so this guy's just a dickhead. So why would you help him? I don't really. And then, like, after all that, if they, like, show you how bad she is, he's still just like, nah, see ya. It's like, I was like, all right, good. Like, I'm done with you. I wouldn't go any great lengths after that. I just didn't like Silverman. The movie should have just been Jack Black and the other dude just being mischievous, you know?
Yeah.
That'd been better.
I think Jason Biggs is like a good cast for that type of character for sure, but the character itself is just he's not your buddy. And I've seen people kind of leave their friends for girls. The funniest part, I feel like, is after the breakup when they're like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? It's like, wait, you're the guy that like didn't hang out with us for 2 years. What's going on?
Right.
So, but I'm with you there. He wasn't.
What was his redeeming
Yeah,
qualities?
he didn't have
you know?
any
Like, why would
redeeming
you?
qualities. Why did Sandy like him so much?
He had no backbone. Even though when the new girl came into the scene, he was like the worst still too. I don't know. Everything about him was just
Yeah. Like the whole scene about him, and I really didn't like that scene at the bar when he has the nipple clamps on. I didn't think it was that funny.
Yeah,
But the whole point is like he can't not say Judith's name. It's like,
right.
what are you doing? Like, just be nicer.
Judith had a good point. She's like, it's been a week. I just died, and you're dropping L-bombs to another girl. It's like, oh, so you're just a terrible person? Like, what's your deal?
We should have just done this movie from Judith's perspective. I will agree in a hate potentially, and I want a short movie, especially like this. You don't want it to be longer, but it was more of just like a montage. You got like for the intro to JD and Wayne, you pretty much get JD at Subway, which I thought was actually pretty funny. Him trying to do his like be a Subway manager, and then Wayne getting attacked by a raccoon. That's who those characters are.
That's all you need. Yeah. You didn't need more than that.
It is all you need for sure. But and maybe it's because I just wanted more Jack Black. Like I need another like solo Jack Black scene.
Jack Black was also turned to like 6 in this movie. I need him at 11.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He was dialed down for sure. The only thing I really hated was just there was copious amounts of beer wasting in this. I don't know, what was going on, but and who did these guys go to BC? Because who taught them how to shotgun?
What a callback.
The shotguns at the beginning were like, what is happening here?
Just a magic.
Yeah. Did magic teach them how to shotgun a beer? Because yikes, I haven't seen this much beer wasted since I went to the last BC tailgate. That's all I gotta say.
Speaking of fitting in, when you go there, it's basically like having to unfit for a football game. You have to like wear your turtleneck and whatnot there.
Be like, I find the other team to be rather shallow and pedantic. Saving Silverman, like I said, some studio notes, came out in 2001. It was also known as Evil Woman. This movie got released like all over the world. I don't know how they got like worldwide releases, but it was released internationally as Evil Woman, which isn't very fair to Judith in my mind. It was remade in Telugu as Thati Gang in 2002 and Hindi as another name that I can't pronounce. So I don't even know why this movie just kept getting redone, but hilarious that it did. And maybe that's just added to the comedy. It had like a $22 million budget. I think it made like around that, maybe 20. It says like between 19 million and 26 million worldwide from a $22 million budget. So yeah, but it was number 3 in North America opening weekend behind The Wedding Planner, which I'm sure you love, and Hannibal, which I haven't seen. The movie was directed by Dennis Duggan, who had done a lot of movies with Adam Sandler. Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, Benchwarmers, and I'll pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Don't Mess with Zohan, Good Grown Ups, so literally all Adam Sandler movies. But then he kind of did this one on his own, I guess, and he was a 4-time nominee for the Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Director. So good for him. He did win Impressive. Once. I couldn't find if it was for this movie, but it may have been. I'm trying to figure out what the other ones it could be, because maybe Jack and Jill.
I found a guy named Mark Dusizik who reviewed this, and he said, Saving Silverman is the newest quote-unquote comedy from director Dennis Dugan, who had made such other quote-unquote hits as Big Daddy, Beverly Hills Ninja, and Happy Gilmore. That was his negative review. First of all, those 3 movies are fucking awesome. Those are top
Have you
comedies.
seen Beverly Hills Ninja since you were a kid, though?
Yeah, I saw it recently. I saw
really?
it not recently, but it wasn't as good.
Yeah,
right.
I saw it fairly recently, and it was bad. It was as bad as it gets. The other movies are great.
It wasn't good. Happy Gilmore is an all-time classic. That holds up.
Happy Gilmore holds up.
Like, what kind of comedy do you like? If you don't like Happy Gilmore, what do you say is comedy? I don't really understand that at that point. Like, what are you pointing at? I don't know what comedy is if Happy Gilmore is
I was like, are you looking at my window? Are you talking to me? What am I pointing at? I ain't pointing at nothing.
Looking good in those blue shorts there.
Nice try. I'm wearing black sweatpants.
If I got that right, though, that would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, I do own blue shorts. Maybe I'll put them on for you. Yeah. The consensus review, Rotten Tomatoes has a 19 critics on Rotten Tomatoes, 50 for audience. And the consensus review is dragged down by a plot lacking any sense of logic and obnoxious, unsympathetic characters. This comedy is more crude and mean-spirited than funny. Agreed.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I'm fine with that, but it's still not a 22. You're a 19, right? The case was. I think for me, I'm closer with the audience here. I wouldn't say it's certified fresh by any means, but it's 50. It's right down the middle.
Yeah.
Smack down the middle. Out of 4 buddies, I'm giving this 2 buddies out of 4.
All right, I'm right there with you. 2 out of 4 buddies for me as well. I thought if you can get a laugh out of me, and if Jack Black's in it, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's
a
not
good,
amazing. It's
shitty
not
Sunday movie.
Yeah, it's not upper echelon by any chance. I'm probably not going to watch it from there for 20 years again. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if it's on TV. If it was on TV and I was sitting on the couch, I would check in just to see what scene it was. Is Coach about to shit on the lawn? Because I'll stick around for a minute. That's as simple as that. Neil Diamond, I don't know how they got him to do this movie, which is like super funny. Imagine being Neil Diamond, like you have more money than you need and someone wants you to do this Saving Silverman movie and you just say, okay, sure, I'll do it.
He was good in it too.
He was good. Yeah, he was really good. So good for Neil. He said he was like dragged into it kicking and screaming, but I think he probably had fun with it. I'm sure like being
after
on set
he
was
saw the
good.
19% Rotten Tomatoes, he's probably said that.
Yeah, beforehand
before
he was all about it.
He's like, oh really? Yeah, I'll get into movies.
Yeah, he actually made a song for it too. He created his own brand new song for it, which is I think the last one, the end credits one. That was Saving Silverman, and we're going to get back to our regular scheduled programming of epic tomes. Next up, we're doing Hero of the Ages, Mistborn trilogy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, our final installment of the Mistborn trilogy, Hero of the Ages. Keith's dragging on it. You know, we got to say it. We got to tell it like it is. He's dragging on it. Can't get through that 40-hour book.
A book that takes a day to read, literally a full day, 27 hours.
I just played it for one day while I was sleeping. Came all in my head. Got it all.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they say that with coma patients, you can do that and you're fine.
Yeah, so we got that coming up next. We're trickling our way closer to episode 69, which will be 50 Shades of Grey. I couldn't be more excited to read something, and I know that after I get 2 pages in...
The fans have been clamoring for it.
After I get 2 pages in, I'm going to be so mad. Be like, why did we
You
do
wanted
this?
Kid.
I know. I wanted this. It'll be my fault for sure. But yeah, so we'll catch you next time for Hero of the Ages. And Keith, I'll be catching you live and in person within a couple of days. So...
Oh, yeah.
I'll see you then. And for everyone else, we'll catch you next time. All right. Bye now.